Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. If you got offered $1 million but it meant that every traffic light you approach will be red, would you take it? Why or why not? Yes. Because I am more annoyed by my poorness than driving. It happens to me anyway, why couldn't it happen to rich me? This is the real answer to me. I would barely notice the difference in what? 10 seconds a light. The million in the bank would be 100,000x more money than I've ever had in my account. The amount of time I waste sitting at red lights would not nearly reach the amount of time I spend working. With $100,000 and my current expenses, I wouldn't need to work for 20 plus years. And that money can make me more money in the background. So yeah, it would be stupid not to take it. If you charge by the minute, you could actually use it to make extra money as a taxi driver. Now this is a plan. Sure. It seems I hardly ever come up to a green light anyways. I've once notated every time I get to a green compared to a red over 1 month. 7 greens. 829 reds. Give me the $1 million, damn it. Edit. Seems like a lot of people are calling me out for what is straight up a problem for me. I live in a small village with basically one way in /out and it directly connects to the main road. To cross it, to go to the parallel road I'm obligated to drive at. I'm 17 and only am allowed a moped driving max 45 km per hour, 28 miles per hour, and there are just some rare occasions I can cross. After that I drive along that road /bicycle path, and because of my speed of only 45 km per hour, 28 miles per hour, I always hit the lights because they are made for cars /trucks going 80 to 80, 50 to 56, and therefore I'm mostly nailed. Also driving even slower won't help in my general time. BTW, province of Antwerp, Belgium. Honestly, just knowing it would be red every time I approach would be nice. I would just adjust driving patterns and I'd never get frustrated thinking I missed the green. It's just always red, not a big deal. Right. It's always a piss off when you're getting to a green light and then it turns to red right before you'd be able to get through. Sure, I could learn the routes with the least stoplights for $1 million. Yay, and it's not too bad if you know it'll be red every time. Plus no one said you had to stop at the red lights. $1 million will pay for a lot of traffic tickets. Edit, my first ever award. Thank you. Yeah, we don't exactly have too many traffic lights where I live, sign me the fuck up. Edit, holy shit, this blew up. Thanks for the upvotes. I would buy a 1967 Shelby Mustang Cobra 500, my dream car, and be happy to sit in it at every light so people can see me driving it like a baller. Lol. Hey, don't steal my dream like that. You can dump $1 million into a dividend stock, for example, Maine, and take home about $5,000 per month after taxes without ever touching the principal amount. If I do some napkin math based on my current commute and a typical red light length of 90 seconds to 2 minutes, I'm going to effectively get paid $1,600 per hour to sit at those lights. So yeah, I'll take that offer. This guy hypotheticals. Yes. I drive. There's pedestrian red lights too, though. I don't care, no cars, I walk, my country got no stupid jaywalking rules. You're getting paid. So I get paid $1 million to live the exact same life I already live. Sweet. These questions are genuinely so stupid. No human who isn't already a millionaire would ever say no to this. With $1 million you're literally set for life. Edit, a bit surprised at the amount of people saying $1 million is enough to live off. Is $1 million a huge sum over the course of a life? Not really. But if you get it all at once. Abso-fucking-lutely. If you go live in a house in the countryside, maybe work for a few years, invest your money and blow it all on hookers, it is enough for sure. It completely eludes me how such an obviously stupid question can get thousands of upvotes and serious replies. I'm not always the sharpest tool in the shed, but what we're witnessing here is actual braindeath. It gives people the excuse to fantasize about being wealthy while they come up with an answer. That feels kinda nice if you only rake in 20 Kelvin a year. Yeah, I would just walk or take the subway. Rail lines also have light signals. I hope you don't live in my area. Oh dear, imagine if the passengers find out why the train is constantly delayed. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'll leave my house 30 minimum early just in case on every trip for $1 million. That definitely buys enough weed for me to reduce any petty frustration about the red light. Plus if it's a known thing, it won't be as bothersome. The potential to not hit a red light makes it frustrating to hit one. Just knowing that it's gonna happen removes that mental issue. That's how I feel about traffic. When I'm already expecting it, it bothers me much less than when I hit it unexpectedly. This guy gets the real problem. Yes, because that shit happens me anyway. Doesn't mean I have to stop. I'm an EMT/firefighter, so I would just drive code 3 everywhere. This one right here, officer. Yes, helicopter. I don't know if you'll be hanging from a drone or something, but there's no way you'll get that for 1M after taxes. I don't think you have to pay taxes on hypothetical sums of money like this. Used Robinson R66S can be had for $450 Kelvin. These $1 million questions are always dumb as fuck. Seriously, why is this not removed? Every single answer is yes, of course. What am I missing? It gets old and boring quick. You get $1 billion but you need to breath, would you take it? So you take half your breaths and invest them in a dividend balloon, and then suck those breaths out once a month. If I do the math, that's 1.44/7744 E10 centigrade breaths per lumen. Enough breaths to power a small but deadly snail for 10,000 years. I would take the $1 billion and use the extra co-valet energy from needing to expand and contract my lungs to power a small wind farm, and by selling the green energy produced thereby, never have to touch my dividend. In fact, nobody would probably ever touch my dividend again. Edit, thank you for the platinum, kind stranger. Edit 2, wow, this blew up. Yeah, it was tricky to decide to take the $1 billion, but I am a very smart strategist. I always beat my cousin at Connect 4, we only play to Connect 3 because my aunt says 4 is the devil's number. Yeah, totally worth it for the minor inconvenience of having to stop at every light. I know which routes to take in my town to avoid most stoplights anyway. Let's do the math. Between my house and job, about a 20-minute drive, are 10 traffic lights. I breeze through green lights at around 50% of the time. When I have to sit at a red, let's call it an average wait of 30 seconds, sometimes much shorter, sometimes much longer, but a decent average. That means that, in a typical day to and from work, 40 minutes, I generally hit 10 green lights, averaging 30 seconds each. I save a grand total of 300 seconds, or 5 minutes, driving through green lights that would otherwise be red. If I were to take this deal, then over the course of a work week that's 25 minutes lost to red lights that would have otherwise been green. I probably do about as much non-work related driving as I do work related in a given week, so that's another 25 minutes lost to red lights. Just to make the math easy, I'm going to round the total up from 50 to 60 minutes in a typical week. I would lose 1 hour of time to this deal, sitting at red lights. I'm around 30, and I'm going to be optimistic and say I'm going to maintain that level of activity throughout my whole life, until I die rich and happy at age 100. That's 70 years of life left, 52 weeks a year, 1 hour lost per week, for a grand total of 40 hours of life I'm losing to red lights because I took this deal. A huge number. To be sure, it would take me nearly 2 years of 40-hour work weeks to make that up. However, divide our $1 million payout by those 40 hours and we get an hourly rate of $274.72. If I die younger, that number goes up. If I drive less, that number goes up. So really, if someone offered to pay me nearly $300 per hour to sit in traffic, potentially more, would I take the deal? Yes. Yes, I do believe I would. Edit, plus with that money I could retire really early, maybe get a nice house out in the country where I don't even have to worry about traffic lights as much. Sure. Why not? I'm in no hurry. Give me the money. Probability of a light being green is less than 20%, I can deal with that. Nah, $1 million's not enough for a lifetime of frustration. Would it be frustrating if you know that it will happen? I think after a while you would get used to it. True. Would be a hassle trying to get places though. Especially where I'm from, lights on every corner pretty much. No, if someone was able to control traffic lights like that, then they must be following me 24/7 and they must be powerful enough to control the city's traffic. What's to say they'll stop at controlling traffic lights? They are always around, hiding in the shadows, but ever present, and every time I stop at the traffic lights I'll feel their presence again and again. There is no escape from the paranoia. What else are they controlling? Ads on TV. The elevator at work. The queue in McDonald's. Why give me so much money? What's their real goal? Am I a human experiment? Is my every move being recorded? I need to escape from these thoughts, but every time I leave the house I'm stalled at every light, just idling in heavy traffic with my own intrusive thoughts. Best just to stay in the house. But I know they're waiting for me.